You are listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZW and 106.1 KZCC Conroe and worldwide on the irlonestar.com.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Hispanic Chamber Connection radio show. I'm Dr. Carlos Sanchez, and this is your program of the week on Tuesdays at 2 p.m. By this means, we come to you featuring members of the Texas Gulf Coast Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, where we endeavor to make sure you know, and we know that you know, that we have a group of people working in this Chamber of Commerce and a part of this Chamber of Commerce that actually offer value and that are out there working for you and helping us all just to gain the right quality of life that we're looking for. And today's no exception. We'll talk a lot about a product that's in the market right now. It's one of the hottest markets you'll ever find, and we'll talk about that later. But it's going to be about hemp and about the features, the value, and the benefits. Of course, the health benefits brought by CBD oil. Today we're talking to Juliana Limones, as she's going to be our guest today. So, Juliana, first of all, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you, Carlos.
And I want to be sure that we remember this, that with the questions you might have about hemp, about CBD, about the way this whole thing works and doesn't work, et cetera, you can actually text me directly, and I can I'll ask her those questions. The text is 469-879-7398, and any question you want to ask, I will read it. It doesn't necessarily mean I'll feature it, but if it's appropriate, of course, and I know they will be, then of course we'll talk about your questions and we'll let you ask, and we'll just figure out the answers. The big thing here to remember before I go on to other parts of the show is that hemp and CBD is a proven and obviously legal means to recover homeostasis or body function in general that is considered healthy. So please remember that, because I have so many friends right now, and a lot of our members and family members, and even myself have enjoyed the benefits of CBD and how it works and everything else. So if you have someone in your family, or if you yourself are going through some difficult times with pain or with chronic illness or with something like that, anything at all, please let us know, and we can answer your questions and find out if CBD is for you. And then you can reach out to Juliana and go from there. Before we go into the deepness of this interview, Juliana, I just want to let you know that we're excited about this because, as we've talked about even before we came into the studio, not a lot of folks know about CBD, for one.
Correct.
And then not and the ones that do know, there's a lot of misconceptions. It's the weirdest thing, but that's how all things that change the markets are. At the beginning, of course, there's always resistance. There's always people making fun of you. There's always, people saying no. And then after a while, those people turn into your biggest allies and turn into, the truth becomes self-evident. So we know that CBD is on the cusp of becoming a major consumer item. And so that's why we're excited for you. So this is great that you're here today. Again, thank you for being on the show.
And I thank you for having me here.
So we have people already asking questions, so we're going to wait a little bit. Before you guys get your answers, please listen to this. We had a program this morning. We have a program that we run on Tuesdays, the second Tuesday of every month in Galleria. It's called the Business Focus Group. And we had about 15 people there this morning. That's a program that's free for our members, and basically it's business coaching. Right? So we brought in, like I said, 15, 20 people this morning, and they received a little bit of what it takes to be successful in business, things like that. And I guess the bigger point there is to remember, we do the same thing in the Woodlands and we do the same thing in Katy. So if you're listening and if you're a member and if you've never taken business coaching before, this is a great introductory format in that we do challenge you. We do challenge you, your business. We ask you questions about your business and help you, as the name says, help you focus on what matters most. That's what we talked about this morning, the activities that you have to do in order to gain the most results from your time. And so we talked about that. And It's a big deal. So we had two people join this morning. Let me read their names. I'm supposed to give them to you also, Tom. By the way, just so you guys know, Tom Brody's on the air with us as well today.
Hi, everyone.
Tom Brody's our Vice President of Memberships. If you guys have any questions about being a member, make sure you reach out to Tom. So we had a guy named Joey Burnell join. He's Vice President, COO of a company called MTG Green Solutions. They offer to large companies a biodegradable solvent, mechanism, or they have products of that type for cleaning and things that are biodegradable. It's a big deal because most companies use agents to clean that are not biodegradable, and they're very dangerous. So these guys have a patented means that they use in companies. So he works with medium to large size companies in offering this product that he has. So he joined this morning, and then we had another guy join this morning. His name is Fabian Alarcon, and Fabian he's a private investigator. So, like a James Bond type dude, like, all right, man, all right, whatever. But, nonetheless, it's unusual. We don't get James Bond showing up all the time, So it's funny because,
Making it interesting.
yeah, well, he shows up. You can take a picture of that, Tom. Yeah. He shows up, and there's like 10 women there and a few guys, right? And he goes, yeah, I'm a private investigator. And everybody's like, woo, like, yeah, man, so what are you doing here? He goes, well, attorneys hire him. And
Who are you investigating?
yeah, well, it's interesting because it becomes mysterious automatically.
Yeah.
Even though he basically follows people around to see what if they're cheating on their wives and stuff, because that's the kind of work he does.
Yeah,
He's a private
that's
investigator.
probably the big part of his business.
That's what he told us. He's
Sadly.
hired mainly by attorneys that want to know what's going on, So, but he's a nice guy, great guy, and he does other businesses, other things, But that was his major introductory point. And, so when you're interesting, when you're different, people do react to you. And they react in most cases with, ooh, what's that, And I know that happens in your case as well, Juliana, when you introduce yourself as someone who promotes and talks about CBD and about the virtues of this product. People basically look at you and go, okay, what's up with that,
Yep.
And you have a great company. I know that you guys have a great CEO. You have a great business model.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure it's a big source of pride for you to say, hey, look, this is what I do. This is how you can make money if you wanted to do it, blah, 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 right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to talk about all that stuff in just a second. Before that, though, I have one other thing to tell you. Tomorrow we have lunch in Katy. In Katy, we generally get about 30. Last time, what did we have, Tom? About 40 members, right?
Yeah, it was a good turnout last
Pretty
week.
big meeting. And so we're doing the same thing tomorrow, same place, in Abuelos in Katy. So members and non-members, if you're listening, the Texas Gulf Coast Hispanic Chamber of Commerce has an office in Katy. We have about 100 members in Katy right now. We're growing, and we'd love to see you there. It's at Abuelos at 11:30 a.m. From 11:30 to 1:30. It's lunch. Abuelos is on 99. No, it's on I-10 and 99.
Yeah, the intersection, pretty close to that
It's
intersection.
not hard to find, especially with that name, because it's the only place in Katy called Abuelos. And it's a restaurant, right? It's a Mexican.
And we all have GPSs.
We hope everybody has GPS, even bilingual GPS. So yes, we have very few people. More people get lost getting to Galleria than they do getting to Abuelos. And Galleria is like right on Westheimer, right? That's where but still. All right. So nonetheless, that's tomorrow. On Thursday, we have Melissa Pinedo. Melissa Pinedo is owner and broker at a company called Golden Arrow Insurance. And she's going to be interviewed on our radio show in Spanish that we have in Houston. The radio show in Spanish is called Éxito Empresarial con el Dr. Carlos Sanchez. No big deal. It's basically highlighting success and highlighting what it takes to be successful in a bilingual market. And so she shows up. She's going to be interviewed by us, and that should be exciting because it's always exciting when we put people on the air in Spanish. I mean, obviously in English as well, but in Spanish when it's somebody who's successful,
Mm-hmm.
and that's because they have clues that a lot of folks don't have.
Right.
It's how they get to where they are.
Right.
One of the guys that joined this morning, Joey, was talking because he's opened and sold several businesses and companies and things like that. He was telling us this morning one of the reasons why he's successful is because he has a one-track mind. And I think that's important because he's very obsessive about his business, about his thing,
Mm-hmm.
He's not all over the place doing, I sell insurance, but I also, sell CBD and I sometimes sell cosmetics. And oh, by the way, I also, have this other side thing where I can sell essential oils. And, so when you have 5 or 6 or 7 different things, and we've said this to our members, when you have a lot of different things that you're doing, that generally dilutes you.
Mm-hmm.
and it also dilutes my image that I have of you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard for me to recommend you.
Yeah.
You know, I know that Juliana does only CBD. You used to have a job, so to speak. You used to work for a company, right?
Corporate America.
And did you get out of that recently?
Thank God I did.
Okay, so there you go. So thank goodness and thank God and baby Jesus and everyone else that she said, okay, you know what? I'm going to do this because it's an opportunity, because I can capitalize, and because I believe in myself. And so that matters, guys, because once you commit, everything begins to happen. You know, your focus changes and people actually react different to you.
And like you said, once you do one thing that it's your passion, one mind track, to me, I translate it as my passion.
Sure.
This is what I like doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think when I explain it, it shows.
Sure.
That's what I want to do. That's what I love doing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not hard to talk about it. It's not hard to get up and work. And, if everybody could do that, that'd be perfect.
Well, that's the definition of sales. At least one of the definitions of sales is the transfer of enthusiasm, the transfer of belief. So if you believe it, then I'll believe it. But if you don't believe it, and if you tell people you don't really want to buy this, do you? Then and I've heard people do that. I know you almost want to what's wrong with you? What are you? You're in business and you're telling people not to buy from you. Nonetheless, for you, for example, and we know that about you, that you have such enthusiasm that it's easy to say yes.
I cannot sell what I don't believe in. And to
Imagine.
me, it narrows down to, I've always practiced plant medicine.
That's something else I was going to ask you. So, this will be more and more as we continue with the interview. But part of your background is that you're kind of a homeopathic, sort of a naturalist type person. Yes.
Yes. And I didn't realize that it was such in me until I had a conversation with someone that's become a very dear friend of mine. She's brought me to the chamber, Lily Combes. And I was talking about oils and making all these mixtures and, blending for deodorants and creams. And she said, that's your passion. That's what you should do.
Well, and plus, if you can't stop talking about it, it's probably your passion.
Yeah.
And that's also the Mexican in you. Your Mexican background?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm sorry, I didn't know which way to go with, Latin American, I should say, to be politically correct. But nonetheless, we have that as part of our belief system, as a culture.
Yeah.
So all of us at home, have 2 or 3 baby Jesuses hanging around the house. And if you get sick, they'll take an egg and rub you with the egg or they'll flush
Well, that's
you.
a completely different thing.
Well, it becomes more extreme to that degree. But at the same time, though, these are
it's like a tea for this.
there's
plant
belief
for that.
systems about this, that folks of other cultures do not have. That's kind of what I'm trying to highlight. That if you open your mind to different forms of treatments, then you're right in there with CBD.
Yeah.
Even if you don't want to open your mind, you try it, and there's people that have been so skeptical at the beginning. A gentleman that I know of who couldn't move his hands, so he was a mechanic, and he had real issues moving his hands because he had arthritis. 3 days on CBD, no more arthritis. Now he's back to being a mechanic. It's just incredible, That's just one little thing, And I know that you have another story, but we'll talk about your stories in a second because there's so many different ways to explain this.
Yeah.
And we just have to understand, for people listening with CBD and with hemp and this whole industry, it's legal, it's safe, and it does work on pain. It does work on all kinds of other things. And we'll talk a lot more about that in a couple minutes with Juliana. One thing before we go on break, I wanted to ask you, Tom, what special do you have right now for membership? This is Tom Brody, our Vice President of Membership, and I just totally put him on the spot. So we're going to see what he has to say.
Well, if you're thinking about joining to be a member of this chamber, come and you can go out to the website and join off the website and sign up today, and then you could be next in line to be on the radio. So that's one of the great benefits and one of the unique benefits of being a member of this chamber is this type of exposure. And you can actually get a recording of this show and then cut it up and put it on your website or your YouTube channel, and you're seen as the expert because you're here talking to a microphone on the radio.
And you're wearing these
That's right.
earmuffs, and people say, wow, she knows what she's talking about.
Exactly.
Even if you don't, it's a perception,
Yeah,
right?
this huge mic in front of you.
Yeah, and it's kind of
right.
intimidating. You don't even know all these cameras because you're on television too, just so you know.
Oh,
You didn't
I
know.
that. But,
Well, that's about the hair thing. We've talked about this before, is that people, I don't get complaints ever about this show, about anything about the program, except that when they put on the earmuffs and these things here,
that messes up the hair.
that's the complaint. It's the only complaint. So, we've told them bring your own mirror. Yeah.
It's okay.
Bottom line is, if you want to be on this show, if you're a member, you have that as one of your benefits, please reach out to me or to Tom or any one of the members of our advisory board, and we're happy to program you and your business. So when we come back, we're going to talk to Juliana Limones more about CBD. We're going to get more in depth and answer some of your questions. So please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Lone Star Community Radio is Montgomery County's radio station with talk, music, weather, and traffic for Montgomery County. Have a question or comment about one of our shows? Want to know how to reach a host? Just contact the station at irlonestar.com or call in and leave a message at 936-647-3776. Get involved with your community with Lone Star Community Radio.
Does your company have needs that can be met by an employee who is dependable, hardworking, enthusiastic, motivated, cooperative, respectful, and punctual? Conroe Independent School District Special Education Department can meet your needs by connecting you with potential employees that have been preparing for a lifetime of employment. We have numerous individuals seeking paid and unpaid work experiences. If your company is interested in seeing how we can meet your business needs, call Conroe ISD Special Education Department to find the best employees for you at 936-709-7671.
Listen in Mondays at noon to hear Conroe news from local nonprofits, businesses, upcoming events, Conroe Park events, news stories, and information that matters to you with your host, Margie Taylor of Taylorized PR. For more information about being a guest, visit irlonestar.com/Conroe Culture.
Want to check out the fastest growing sport in the world? It's right here in Conroe, Texas, and it's roller derby. Conroe Roller Derby is a nonprofit recreational league of women and men who want you to come and check out the fast-paced, hard-hitting game of roller derby. The Conroe Cutthroats practice at Rainbow Roller Rink on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. You can find our game schedule and more information on our website, www.conroerollerderby.com.
The Hispanic Chamber Connection is sponsored by the Yamel Insurance Agency, located at 719 Sawdust Road, Suite 103, The Woodlands, Texas. The Yamel Agency is a family-owned insurance agency that provides home, life, automobile, and umbrella insurance coverage. Since 2006, the Yamel Agency has been a bilingual insurance service for businesses and private citizens in the Montgomery County area. For more information on the Yamel Insurance Agency, please visit the Hispanic Chamber Connection at www.irlonestar.com/HCC. The Yamel Insurance Agency is available by telephone at 832-525-5656 or online www.yamelagency.com. The Yamel Insurance Agency is a sponsor of this program, and the Hispanic Chamber Connection thanks you.
We're back. We are back. This is Dr. Carlos Sanchez with the Hispanic Chamber Connection radio show, a program that features members of the Texas Gulf Coast Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. And we're very proud of our members. We've vetted our members. We trust our members. And there's 535 people, businesses that have said yes to us. Thank you very much. In 3 years, how fast we've grown. And all of that is because we want to be sure our members are seen, our members are heard, and our members are bought. So if you're a member, you have in your benefit package radio interview. Make sure that you reach out to us. Let us know. It's likely that if you try to call me, I'll ignore because I'm doing something. If you email me, I'll take too long. So if you text me, I might not answer right away. So do it again. Do it again because you want to insist. I'm not trying to ignore anyone deliberately. I just have to for survival purposes. So sometimes it's not going to get to me directly. You might have to talk to somebody like Tom Brody, who's with us today. He's our Vice President of Membership. Or anyone else like Sabrina Amel, who was our Executive Vice President. Just as a matter of interest, guys, Sabrina Amel and Leonard Amel are owners of the Amel Insurance Agency, and they are the people who sponsor this radio show. If you have insurance, and most of you better, and if you don't have insurance, but if you have insurance and it's going to lapse, or if it's soon going to be time for you to reevaluate, reach out to the Amel Agency. They can get you a great quote. About 60% of all the members of this Chamber of Commerce favor the ML agency. And they do that because they're very efficient, they're very fast, they're very friendly, and they get good rates. So remember, if you have insurance and you want to be a part of this chamber in terms of giving value and helping other people, that's one first big step to do. It's just making sure that if you want business, you give business, because that is the golden rule of us and any other business. I don't know, how do you feel about that, Tom?
Oh, I completely agree. I mean, that's one of the things that drove me to the MLs as a member, because I got to meet them and know them, and they could offer the same kind of coverage that the big companies do at a much reduced rate. I didn't believe it at first.
Yeah.
Really.
And here's the thing too, the speed.
Yeah.
I was telling somebody, I'm not sure who it was, but we had a meeting in Katy. And when I was in Katy, I get this buzz thing on my phone, right? A text from my car agency. It's so crazy. And they said, you're not insured. You need to get insured or blah, blah, blah. Consequences, right? Basically, my other insurance had lapsed. I forgot, whatever, or they forgot to remind me. I didn't pay attention. But on my way back to the Woodlands from Katy, I called the ML agency. And I called Celeste. Celeste Gomez is their lead producer there. And on the phone, driving from Katy to the Woodlands, when I reached the Woodlands, I was already insured, fully covered. My car, my home, and I forget what other thing. I had 3 things insured just on that trip. That's how fast they are. But I got to tell you this, which is more important. I can call Celeste on Saturday night, and she'll answer. Geico won't. You know what I mean? So the value of having that type of insurance coverage and that type of insurance.
The personal attention.
Right. That's huge, So enough about the MLs. This is not about them, even though they're listening. So thank you guys and they interact with us. So
Thank
they
you,
have all these
Sabrina.
questions. Yeah, thank you, Sabrina, and thank you, Leonard, and of course, Celeste and Carla, who's also going to accompany us. Carla, by the way, if you guys want to meet Carla, she's going to be at the Katy Hispanic Chamber event tomorrow. That's the word I got today, so she'll be driving out, and that's valuable, guys. I mean, that's another thing. Is one of the big secrets of success is not necessarily that they of course sponsor this program. Is they show up. They're everywhere, and people they trust you. When they trust you, of course, that becomes a relationship. So we're here with Juliana Limones. Juliana is a part of a company called HempWorks. She not only distributes CBD, but she also offers business opportunities and helps other people if they want to make money doing the same thing she does. She can talk to you about that. But first, let's learn a little bit about hemp and about this whole thing, Juliana. I know that I use CBD, so I take 2 or 3 squirts every day, and that's, I think, a moderate doses or whatever. I just take enough to where I know.
Take the edge off.
Take the edge off. There you go. I know that I don't get mad anymore like I did before. And people notice if I'm not on it, they'll say, "Hey, are you not taking your CBD? What's wrong?" Before in years past, I would have like a big staff of people that I would work with, and they always knew if I didn't have lunch, because they could tell in my in my behavior. I'm in a board meeting or meeting with executives, whatever, and I'm in charge, and they can tell my personality, I guess, would change because I hadn't eaten anything. The same thing happens now with hemp in terms of how I behave in front of groups. So for me, what it's done is that it's mellowed me down. It's helped me focus, and it helps me. It doesn't mean I don't care. The feeling I get is not the same. So I mean, you can interpret it as yourself not caring, but it's not that. It's just that you're able to have a more relaxed sort of attitude about things.
Right.
So for me, that's been major. So hemp, at least this form of hemp, does not make you high, because I know I'm not high. So what do people think about this? Because I know some people are out there thinking, it's marijuana, whatever.
Just as big as it's gotten, the confusion has gotten just that big.
Sure.
People think you're going to get high on it. That's still illegal. There's a limit of THC that's on there that you want it under because it's one of the compounds that creates a synergy with the CBD and the CNB, all the compounds that come in that plant. And if you take one of them out, you'll still get a lot of benefits, but you'll lose some.
Okay, so hold on. Before you go too fast, too far, you said some things there that I didn't understand. What's this THC thing?
The THC is the tetrahydride.
What is it? I don't even know the name.
That's what makes you high.
Okay.
Marijuana is really high on THC. Hemp is really high on CBD.
So marijuana and hemp are not the same thing?
They're not the same. They're cousin plants.
Cousin plants.
They're both cannabis plants. but one is hemp and the other one is marijuana. The hemp has very low THC, which is the compound that makes you high.
Okay.
The legal limit for that is, acceptable, is 0.3.
Okay.
Our product has 0.03
Okay.
THC. We do want it in there, but we don't want it so
Well,
it makes
obviously, you don't
high.
want all your customers to get all high and
No.
flying around.
Exactly.
So that's one big myth that people have about
Yes.
all this.
Yes.
Another question is, does CBD help you, for example, if you can't sleep? Like,
Yes.
does it?
We don't make any medical claims
Mhm, mhm,
because then we would have the FDA on our backs.
Yeah.
But, the testimonies are out there. Anybody that has taken CBD or a good CBD,
Mhm,
and
mhm.
not all are created equal,
Mhm.
experiences great sleep.
Okay.
I have many clients come back because of their sleep or arthritis that is subside or gone at all.
Very good. So if you're hitting the hooch before you go to bed, come on, guys, get off that. Get on some CBD. This is a natural form. Is it addictive?
It is not addictive.
It is not addictive.
As a matter of fact, there
Mhm.
are right now, they're doing trials for people that are addicted to opioids
Okay.
and other harsh drugs.
Mhm.
They are using CBD to wean them out
Okay.
of those drugs, and it's turning out to be very effective.
Okay, I read about that. I remember when I quit smoking, I did it using gum because I tried every other form and it just never worked. So I used this Nicorette gum, which is like straight nicotine. Did you ever smoke, Tom?
No.
Okay.
No.
So I'm smoking
Clearly.
a pack a day, whatever, and so I start chewing this gum, and yeah, you can overdose on that thing. And, get all vomitose and like, I ate too much gum. But the bigger thing is, without the gum, I would not have been able to get off nicotine because the nicotine was the strongest thing, and it's horribly hard to stop smoking. So with opioids, it's even worse. The addiction gets so powerful that you have to have something that supports you to get off it.
Mhm.
And I've read that with a lot of success, they've done trials and
Yes.
they're working with
Yes.
CBD.
It controls your nervous system. It brings it down, like you said. It controls your moods,
Mhm.
which a lot of the drug users, that's their problem.
Mhm.
Their nervous system is on high alert.
Mhm.
And again, disclosure, I'm not a doctor and I'm not making any medical claims, but the trials and the testimonies,
Mhm.
tell the story.
Right.
People are getting off of harsh drugs using CBD because it brings their body to homeostasis. Like you
Right.
said, it balances everything.
Mhm.
So it helps you get rid of that craving for something to put you in a different state.
Very good. So all right. So we've got CBD, and is it legal?
It is
Like in all of
completely legal.
Texas, even up here in Montgomery County? Oh my God.
It is legal.
Okay.
And it became completely legal, federally legal, in December 10th.
Mhm.
POTUS signed the bill.
Mhm.
But a lot of states still want to, say it's not because it's got THC. They
Right.
don't.
But it's legal here
Yes,
in Texas.
yes,
Like
yes.
if you guys right now are even curious about this, these companies, and I'm sure your company is the same, they can offer you samples.
Mhm.
And so how fast does this actually kick in? I mean, that's one. Go ahead.
All of every system is different. Everybody's different. For one person, it took 48 hours. For another person, it took a week. For another person, it took 24 hours.
Mhm,
So
mhm,
it's all depending on what you're trying to alleviate
mhm, mhm.
and what your physical being is.
Okay, so it takes a little bit of time
Yeah.
for some people, and for others,
Mhm.
does it make
24
you all
hours.
like a surfer dude, man? It doesn't like does it make you like that? Does it make you lethargic?
No.
Does it make me have the munchies? Look at me.
Do you feel lethargic?
I'm hungry, but
Well,
that's a different story.
That's a different thing.
Okay.
But
Okay.
no, it doesn't.
No,
And
I
I'm
agree.
diagnosed ADD
Mm.
because I just have so many things on my plate
Sure.
and I'm just jumping from one thing to another. My husband likes to call it squirrel,
Mhm,
you
mhm.
know, and taking the CBD has helped me focus on one or two things.
Mm.
And no, it doesn't make me like I don't care,
Mhm,
but
mhm.
it makes me not jump at decisions right,
Right.
away, and it makes me concentrate more on one thing
Mhm.
so I can stick with it longer.
I have a great record now. I haven't asked someone to leave one of our meetings in about a year. Well, before I was like, get out of here, but now it's like, okay, Carlos, calm down. And
Take
I'm
your
able to-
CBD, Carlos.
Well, no, I take it before in my car, whatever it takes, right? And it does. We have to understand that we're in constant stimulus and we're in constant, things provoking fear and provoking all these things in our bodies. And if we don't do something outside of the norm, sometimes it can get out of control.
Yeah.
So that's why CBD for me at least has been wonderful. Okay, so I think those are some of the bigger myths that are out there, right, with CBD.
Yeah, that it's illegal and that it's a drug that's going to get you high. I have people coming asking,
And
really
both of them are
quietly.
no. I mean, yes and no.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, it's legal. No, it's not going to get you
Correct.
into that whole highness thing.
No, you cannot get high. You would have to drink,
A bottle of bourbon with that.
no, it's like 10 gallons and you would puke before that.
This is Juliana Limones. Juliana Limones works with HempWorks. HempWorks distributes one of the purest forms and ways of hemp CBD oil. Juliana's number, if you want to contact Juliana, is 832-592-7349. 832-592-7349. When we come back from break, we're going to talk more with Juliana about just the details and also get to know her a little bit about how she got involved in all this. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Lone Star Community Radio is Montgomery County's radio station with talk, music, weather, and traffic for Montgomery County. Have a question or comment about one of our shows? Want to know how to reach a host? Just contact the station at irlonestar.com or call in and leave a message at 936-647-3776. Get involved with your community with Lone Star Community Radio.
Health Center Southeast Texas is a federally qualified health center. We accept Medicare, Medicaid, and most major private insurances. For our self-pay patients, we have a sliding scale discount program available. Our health centers have qualified providers and staff striving every day to provide the best quality of care to our patients. Services offered are family medicine, behavioral health services, telepsychiatry, and pediatrics. We have 4 area locations. Look up the Health Center Southeast Texas online at hcset.com.
The Hispanic Chamber Connection is sponsored by the Yamel Insurance Agency, located at 719 Sawdust Road, Suite 103, The Woodlands, Texas. The Yamel Agency is a family-owned insurance agency that provides home, life, automobile, and umbrella insurance coverage. Since 2006, the Yamel Agency has been a bilingual insurance service for businesses and private citizens in the Montgomery County area. For more information on the Yamel Insurance Agency, please visit the Hispanic Chamber Connection at www.irlonestar.com/HCC. The Yamel Insurance Agency is available by telephone at 832-525-5656 or online www.yamelagency.com. The Yamel Insurance Agency is a sponsor of this program, and the Hispanic Chamber Connection thanks you.
Hispanic Chamber Connections with Dr. Carlos Sanchez, President of the Woodlands Conroe Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, featuring event announcements, member highlights, and more. Tuesdays at 1 p.m., broadcasting from the heart of Conroe, Texas on irlonestar.com and Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1.
Lone Star Community Radio is looking for those who are interested in hosting their own talk show with monthly and weekly slots available on Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1, and on irlonestar.com. Start your own podcast, create your first YouTube channel, and be on TV. Contact Lone Star Community Radio online at irlonestar.com or call the station message line at 936-647-3776 to take your first step into the radio world.
We're back. We are back. This is Dr. Carlos Sanchez with the Hispanic Chamber Connection radio show, a program that features members of the Texas Gulf Coast Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. If you are a member of this organization or not, and you'd like to be interviewed and you have something to say, drop us a message. Let us know. Let us know you've got that benefit coming. We're happy to put you on the roster. We're happy to put you down. And remember that this program is sponsored by the Yamel Agency, the Yamel Insurance Agency. And if you have insurance or not, and if you want to have it reviewed, please reach out to them because they deserve at least some attention, at least a quote, being the ones that have the vision to say, I'm going to flip the bill for this radio show on behalf of us and of the chamber, we're thankful to our sponsors. So there you go. We're here today with Juliana Limones, or in English, Juliana Limones, or something like that. Anyway, Juliana works with HempWorks. HempWorks is a company that distributes hemp or CBD oil. A wonderful program, a wonderful product. We know, personally, I know people like my mother, other folks that have gone through different treatments that have been very painful, and even preventing things. I had one lady who had a growth in her breast, and using hemp and using the right diet and the whole thing, that disappeared. So there's different stories like that you hear, like, wow, what else did you do? Of course, she did the whole vegetarian, these just basically detoxify your body, and hemp, of course, expedites the homeostasis process, which is balance, and it helps your body stay in balance, and that's one of the biggest features and benefits of hemp oil or CBD. All right, so Juliana, one question that the audience needs to know, like, who is this lady, and what got you involved in this program you're in right now with using with distributing CBD and things like that? So tell us a little bit about your background, please.
Well, I was working for corporate America, and I was driving over an hour each way.
That's normal for
I know.
us in Houston.
I know. And it wasn't normal for me.
Yeah, I know. So it's not normal for anyone, but it's what we do. Yeah.
Especially driving here in Texas.
Yes, ma'am.
It's very stressful. And, it, like everybody else, it gives you a good paycheck, stable, but, I mean, it's 12 hours out of your day,
right?
Doing something that you don't like.
Okay.
And I didn't realize or was not taking into consideration that my passion has always been, plant medicine.
Okay.
Natural cures. Anything organic and natural.
Like homeopathy.
Correct. I started using CBD, not the one that I'm selling right now, one that was imported from Switzerland and for arthritis, and I was amazed of the results. I couldn't believe it. I did not know anything about CBD. I knew about hemp and the plant and everything that you can do with it, but I did not know about CBD. I started researching because I could not believe the results in 2 days. And I said, I got to sell this. I have to sell this.
Would you say that America, by and large, is going through an awakening process with this?
Absolutely.
Tell us a little bit about that, because I know that's something that's really important, especially for a product that's as breakthrough as this. What have you seen right now in the market that people?
Well, I've seen that, before it became legal, all the pharmaceuticals and all the media said, no, it doesn't work. It's a scam. And now that it's legal and the testimonies are overriding all that negative publicity,
sure.
now Coca-Cola is going to start putting it on their products.
Isn't that weird? What's that going to taste like? Even Starbucks with their coffee. Come on, guys.
Starbucks is going to put it.
You have your own thing.
A big pharmaceutical company wants to patent it,
Yeah.
which that's ridiculous. You cannot patent it.
I grow my own.
natural.
No, I'm kidding. Well, okay. But what you're hearing, guys, and for those of you listening, what you're hearing are two major things. One, this is a breakthrough item. This is something that is absolutely as powerful as it sounds. And obviously, you can't make any medical claims, and we're not trying to tell you what to do with your own health, and talk to your physician about these things. But understand that if you do log into Juliana's website and other websites that are out there and research hemp and research CBD, you'll be amazed at the benefits. And we're going to talk right now about some of those. That's one thing. Another thing is, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a business owner, and you want to make some extra money, or if you want to make a lot of money, this is one of those things that is so on the cusp of becoming the item of the year that right now is one of the best times for you to get involved with someone who can actually help you become an entrepreneur with this. And of course, Juliana, you also offer that as part of your business.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, so remember that if you guys want to get a hold of Juliana Limones, please give her a call, and she has her number. If you'll give it to us, Juliana. Phone number.
My phone number is 832-592-7349, or you can go to thehempbrigade.com.
Thehempbrigade.com, okay.
Yes, and put your email there, and that'll let you into my back office, and you can check out everything about our company. And just a special announcement right now, we have a promotion. If you take a look at my back office, we're picking 5 winners at the end of the month, February 28th, 5 winners, $1,000 each. just by going into my back office, taking a look at the business, that enters you into the
Wow.
sweepstakes.
So for just checking it out, you
For
might
just
get a
checking
grand.
it out.
Tom, I think we should
Yes.
take
I'm
advantage.
going to write that down. Absolutely.
That-
Yep.
That's so okay. So we'll talk. We'll repeat the website for sure in a little bit. So let's talk now about something else, Juliana. I have some people that, and we're very thankful to them, who are writing in their questions and saying, what about this? What about that? So these are just like straight up questions.
Okay.
Tell us a little bit about what hemp does for pain, please. Pain.
Okay, disclosure again. We're not making.
We know. Don't worry about that. They already heard that. But
Okay.
just what does
Thank
it
you.
do? What have you heard?
It pain. If it's a migraine,
Mhm.
it comes down your nervous system.
Mhm.
That's what brings about the migraines.
Right.
It helps with arthritis. If your pain is because of arthritis, it brings down your inflammation.
Mhm.
If you have stomach pain, it helps with stomach pain. It Crohn's disease, all of those. It helps with all of those issues.
Okay. So the answer about pain is yes.
Yes, you can Google CBD and pain, CBD headaches, CBD, and you will find a research or a testimony.
Mhm. And major organizations like major universities are and have published papers and different articles about the benefits of CBD. So for pain, every person is different, obviously, but we have seen and we have found that it helps tremendously with inflammation, helps tremendously with anything that causes pain. So that's one big benefit. We already talked about sleep, but that's a big one too. Tell us a little bit about your dog, because it's for pets, guys. Listen to that. It can also help your puppies. And Juliana has a pretty nervous dog. So what do you do with your dog when it's all rattled
Well,
up?
I'm sure everybody that's seen my Facebook page, they know my dog is my baby,
Okay.
and she trembles, shakes, and wants to get in the bed. She's not allowed in the bed
Mm.
when there's fireworks or thunderstorms.
Mhm.
And I just give her, I can't count the drops when I give them to her because she's a dog. So I just the tip of the dropper, squeeze her in her mouth. 10 minutes later, she's sleeping like a baby.
Okay,
and
so
snoring.
basically, instead of giving your dog bourbon
Yeah.
or some other thing
Yeah.
like that, give her some
Benadryl,
CBD,
yeah, give her CBD.
and that's the calming effect.
It's a calming effect.
What else does it do
Every-
for pets? What else does it do for pets?
Arthritis. There's a lot of dogs, old dogs, or just even, I have a friend that it was like a 2-year-old dog, Lhasa Apso. And the poor dog could not get up on her hinds when she was scratching, tried to get on the table. She would squeal of the pain. She
Wow.
started giving her 3 drops of CBD, and within 2 weeks, the dog was running around like nothing, like the pup that she still is.
Sure. Okay, so basically, the effects that CBD has on humans also translates to
Correct. It's the same CBD that we give the dogs. It's just in a lower dosage.
Okay, so if you guys have a cat, good luck, feeding your cat CBD, but it would benefit your cat as well.
Well, our CBD for pets has a bacon flavor, so they will like it.
Right, but good luck trapping your cat and opening its mouth and sticking. It's easier with a dog or a baby.
Yeah, a dog.
was-
I put it on a plate, 3 drops.
Oh yeah,
and
they'll
she
lick
licks
it right up. Of
Yeah.
course, dogs don't care. So anyway, all right. So, but the bottom line though is that, guys, for those of you listening, be careful. Not be careful. Be aware that you don't have to have a really over nervous fur baby at home. You can take care of them. Something that does come to mind sometimes, Juliana. Does the CBD actually help with the symptoms? The feeling that we have about an illness, or does it go after the illness itself? Let's say for instance, I had surgery, right, and I'm healing.
Mhm.
Does it help the healing process, or does it help me just not feel it so much?
It helps the healing process.
Okay.
It brings your body to balance. The yin and the yang. It
Mhm.
brings them to where they're supposed to be. If in a perfect world where our fruits still had the vitamins, everything was still perfect like it was in the beginning,
Mhm.
we would have these type of bodies. That's what the CBD does for you.
Mm.
It brings the body to a balance where everything starts to work again.
Okay. So basically, then, if I have arthritis, it'll help with my pain, but will it go after the parts of me that are?
Yes, it will go after the inflammation,
Mhm.
and that's what's causing the pain. And with inflammation comes other illnesses as well.
Sure.
So you never want to have something inflamed.
Right.
And that's what the CBD does. It goes after the inflammation.
Okay. And there's something else about this that somebody was asking the other day. With CBD, once you've taken, let's say, for instance, 3 months worth, you can basically put your body back into balance where you don't have to be taking it all the time.
Correct.
Right?
And the CBD that we carry it stores in your fat cells. It's not the water soluble one that some people sell. This one it goes into your fat cells, so it stays in your body for a longer period. If you miss it 2 days after you've been taking it for 2 weeks, you're fine. You do want to keep taking it, but you don't have to take it as much as you do at the beginning.
Okay. So bottom line, guys, it's like everything else. I mean, I know people who every day put on mascara and put on all these things on their face so that it looks, young. And, they do stuff to make sure that the skin is stretched or whatever. And they spend hundreds of dollars on that a month just because it's their regime, it's their thing.
Right.
To take care of your health, I mean, you do the same thing. And why not do something that's it's worth it? You're worth it. So give us your phone number one more time because I can't read it. I need CBD.
832-592-7349.
This is Juliana Limones with HempWorks. So when we come back from break, we're going to talk a lot more about what she's got going on, some announcements, and more news about the chamber. So please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Lone Star Community Radio is Montgomery County's radio station with talk, music, weather, and traffic for Montgomery County. Have a question, comment about one of our shows? Want to know how to reach a host? Just contact the station on irlonestar.com or call in and leave a message at 936-647-3776. Get involved with your community with Lone Star Community Radio.
What is homelessness? Have you seen parents struggle to find a job without having transportation or childcare? What about the children sleeping in cars with nothing to eat? Families shouldn't have to struggle to survive, and children should not be homeless. Family Promise of Montgomery County serves the needs of homeless families and their children. Learn about ways you can help and learn about partnership opportunities at www.familypromiseofmc.org or call our day center at 936-441-8778.
The Hispanic Chamber Connection is sponsored by the Yamel Insurance Agency, located at 719 Sawdust Road, Suite 103, The Woodlands, Texas. The Yamel Agency is a family-owned insurance agency that provides home, life, automobile, and umbrella insurance coverage. Since 2006, the Yamel Agency has been a bilingual insurance service for businesses and private citizens in the Montgomery County area. For more information on the Yamel Insurance Agency, please visit the Hispanic Chamber Connection at www.irlonestar.com/HCC. The Yamel Insurance Agency is available by telephone at 832-525-5656 or online www.yamelagency.com. The Yamel Insurance Agency is a sponsor of this program, and the Hispanic Chamber Connection thanks you.
We're back. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. This has been a really interesting conversation we've had with Juliana Limones about hemp, about CBD, about the myths, and about understanding that all three of us that are here in the studio today are actual users. And I didn't know that. I didn't know that about Tom Brody. I mean, I knew that about Juliana. Obviously, she's a distributor, and this has helped her in her life. You guys know that about me because I'm nicer. But we didn't know that Tom had quite the temper. Tom, what do you talk about, Tom, that you're now all mellow?
Not quite the temper, but just I've noticed since I've been on it that things that we used to just, push my button and get aggravated about, I'm able just to laugh off and say, oh, okay, well, and move on.
Like me asking this question. Right?
Well, exactly. But no, not like that. It was like, if you get frustrated at a retail establishment or something because they messed up your order or something,
Sure.
But now it's like, okay. And it's amazing. And you don't really realize it because you don't feel any different,
Right.
except you notice that you're not responding as
Very good.
harshly as you did.
So there you go, guys. Three perfectly reasonable people can tell you it's legal, it's safe, it's non-addictive. It can only help benefit you, your body, your family, your friends, your pets. Reach out to Juliana. Juliana, you had something that you wanted to say, to be sure. Would you please tell us what was that you wanted to say?
Well, I just wanted to make a point for people to, if you're not buying my CBD, if you're buying somebody else's, and I'm not saying we're the only one, the only great company, but do look at the ingredients. look at the back of the bottle, because I've had a couple of people come and tell me that stuff doesn't work, it's a scam. And then when I look at what they're taking, the first ingredient is either glycerin, coconut oil, or water. And I'm like, this is why it's not working. So do look at the ingredients. Make sure that you're getting what you're paid for, which is just CBD and hemp seed oil. That's all you need. That's all that needs to be in the bottle.
So if it doesn't work, it's not necessarily your fault. You're not out of control. It could be actually the actual product, because there are so many
Correct.
companies. Guys, the moment they start selling this thing in Walmart and start doing things like that, it's going to be a diluted form. So be aware that there are companies that have better quality, better pureness, and certainly HempWorks and Juliana Limones is one of them. So be sure to look at the quality and look what's going on with those ingredients. Even though you don't have to be a chemist, just know that the more ingredients are involved, the less pure it's going to be. Right?
Absolutely.
So you only need, like you said, hemp oil and a little bit of. Does it taste like something
Hemp
outside
seed.
of bacon?
Well, we have peppermint. Well, that's for the dogs.
Right, okay.
We have peppermint, cinnamon, and natural.
Peppermint, cinnamon, and natural. And the natural tastes kind of funny. It tastes a little bit
The
like grass.
natural tastes like grass, and I like it. I take the natural. People think I'm weird, but my mom used to make alfalfa water because
Okay.
it's chock full of
Yeah.
vitamins,
Mhm.
and I identify that with my childhood.
Okay, very
So-
well. There you go. So if you grew up in pastures and with cows, that might be something you look into as well.
Exactly.
Remember that it's not expensive. You can buy it and you can actually give it away for Valentine's Day, and here's something for you, honey, and it'll calm you down, and that might be a good gift because it's unusual. Dare guys, because it's not something that is doubtful or anything like that. We've said this before. It's proven. It's something that we recommend, and we highly want you to experiment. Talk to Juliana, and we've said her phone number a couple times. This will be the last time because we're about to finish the show. So I just want to read it to you. It is 832-592-7349. Reach out to Juliana. She can facilitate perhaps maybe some sort of sample. She can send you to her website, et cetera, et cetera. So the final question then, Juliana, is just basically, how does somebody get a hold of doing the business? If, let's say, for instance, somebody wants to sell hemp or CBD.
Give me a call
Mhm.
or go to thehempbrigade.com
Mhm.
and put your email in there. Not only will this let you into my back office so you can look at the products,
Mhm.
the business, the comp plan, but it also, we have a promotion going on this month, $1,000.
Mhm.
And just looking at my office, at my back office, that's your ticket for the
Okay,
giveaway.
so all I need to do is leave my email, of course.
Mhm,
So that's
right.
not just looking. Give us your information, which
Right.
is cool. For $1,000, I can deal with
Yeah,
it.
you have to put your email in there in order for you to go into my website and my back office.
Are you able to sell and ship to any part of the country?
Yes.
But just
Yeah, Alabama was the only one that was holding off, and they just got the go-ahead like 2 weeks
they woke
ago.
up, Alabama.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So it's all through the country.
Okay, but not internationally, right? I mean, that's not.
International, yes, to some European countries, some not. Right now we're in the UK,
Mhm.
really strong.
Mhm.
We're in Spain. We're in about 20 European countries.
Okay.
And
But what
some,
matters most is your family, guys. If you have children with ADHD, this will help them. If you have children who are athletes, this will help their body recover. I mean, there's a real benefit to this. And it's not a cure-all to everything. It's just one of those things that it's an overall, systematically, it helps your body return to its normal state. And that's what you're looking for with anything with healthcare. So thank you very much for being on the program today.
Thank you, Carlos.
And-
Thank you for
and so
having me here.
We'll go back to Tom Brody because he's our vice president of membership. Tom, tomorrow, Katie,
Yes,
you going to be there?
absolutely going to be there. Yes. I like getting out to as many of the different locations as possible, just to meet other people because, not everyone makes every meeting every month.
Very good. So we'll see you guys tomorrow in Katie. The restaurant's called Abuelos Mexican Restaurants. We'll see you guys there tomorrow at 11:30. Thank you again,
Thank you.
Juliana. Thank
Have
you,
a good
Tom.
afternoon,
We'll
everybody.
see you guys next week when we talk to David Murillo. And thank you again for being on the program. Goodbye.